Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this immersion into your abundant mind. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. We have Radha on chat and tech support, and we have a Pillai Center team in the background that is supporting us to be of service with a smile so that we can dive into these teachings where we're going to unpack a quote from Dr. Pillai. You can see it on the screen, who shares about the preview to the Mystery School 2025. And there's some precious gems on how to create your best reality or simulation by focusing your thoughts on enhancing your well-being, your wealth, your health, comforts in life, beautiful relationships, joy, spiritual upliftment, or whatever it is that you want to create. So Dr. Ply shares about the Mystery School 2025. It's a boot camp to train your mind to think quantum thoughts, to get into that quantum reality. And you're going to experience it in a minute or two. So thoughts are the building blocks of the mind as well as matter. And whatever it is that we want to create, we need to create the thoughts that are going to be building towards that. So the yogis and Siddha masters say that the world is as you think, whether you're poor or rich, whether you're healthy or sick, whether you have a home or you're homeless, with a car or no car, and so on. So in other words, you're living in a simulated world. And who simulated it? You did, not someone else. So now that we have that foundational quote and teachings, those pearls, those gems, those building blocks, we can get into a state of receptivity where we will dive into a guided meditation with Dr. Ply, and he will share what those sounds are, where they're going to go in your brain and in your body, and how to think thoughts and build your abundant mind. So settle in and we'll get started.
Let me begin with the difficulty that we all have, particularly in the West, to conceive of gods and goddesses. Do they exist? And only when you use the English language, the problem comes. For instance, in Sanskrit, there is no difference between intelligence and gods. Only one word, Deva. The Sanskrit word Deva means God. It means intelligence. It means a shiny being. So together they talk about there is a shiny being, and that is associated with superintelligence, and that is God or goddess. So just to use the word, then you can create the gods and goddesses, and they will come. And you can be in touch with that if you are able to see that. When Jesus was arrested, Jesus said to Peter, who was trying to pull the sword and fight with the Roman soldiers, put down the sword. Those who live by sword will die by sword. And then he says, if my Father had wanted, he would have sent an angel. He would have sent an angel. So angels are real, and they will give you abundant intelligence, and you can invoke them. And there is a very rich tradition in India, China, Japan, and all over the world, in Mexico, where they benefited from that knowledge. Now, as science began to evolve and gods were considered superstitious belief, and then they don't exist, that's not true. And the AI is going to prove that. And what, after all, is AI? Is only just language. And the language has to be understood in terms of word. The Bible is called the Word. And with that word, God created everything. So the sounds can create everything. And if you understand what the sounds are, then you can understand the intelligence they carry. There are different intelligence, not only one intelligence, different kinds of intelligence, represented by different gods, different angels, different goddesses. And we have lost that. And the purpose of my teaching this is to reintroduce the gods and goddesses to the modern mind, to our contemporary civilization, but not in a way that traditionally we could understand them as a belief or a faith factor, but as science. Because these gods and goddesses are in the body, in different chakras and different parts of the brain. And all that you have to know fundamentally to understand, you have all the ability. You have all the ability. By virtue of your human birth. When Moses asked God, what do I do with the pharaohs? Just to go and say, I am that I am. So what happens, he said? Then you will appear to the pharaohs as to myself, as God. Ehia, Asher, Ehia. And if we say that in Hebrew, it has tremendous power. Sounds will create you of that they really, the power they really carry. So there are so many secrets that you will be learning in the course that I have developed. To introduce back the archetypes. So Jung had a problem also. He handled the problem by saying this. These gods and goddesses are everywhere. They are called archetypes. And they are in the subconscious, unconscious mind. And that it can be brought through various rituals and recitations. But what I'm going to do differently is to use AI a lot. AI can be really helpful. What is AI after all? Look at ChatGPT. It is like 1,000 brains coming together, or 10,000 brains coming together, and creating the power that gives you access to 1,000 brains knowledge or 10,000 brains knowledge to you. You do not know anything. That's why it's called artificial intelligence, machine learning. The machine is a brain that carries 10,000 brains of knowledge stored. But the biggest brain machine that you have, but not a machine, I should not use the word, but I can use the word with another prefix word, a live machine. We have a live machine here. And the live machine has to be activated. And if you activate it, that will beat all the computers. Because your whole, the gift of God is in your brain. And the brain is underused when we do not even know how to activate different parts of the brain. All that you need to do is simply close your eyes. Now, we'll go to the technique right away. Close your eyes. You need to activate the whole brain. How to activate the whole brain. This is a research that I did at Harvard. And I told them that a single sound will activate the entire brain, and I knew it was proved. And I'm going to give you the sound now. Focus on your brain, right, left, and the midbrain. And I'm going to give the sound, whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. It is going to activate the entire brain. They have a technical term for this, and that is the global activation of the brain. What is that sound? I'm going to chant the sound where it's a single syllable. Ah, join me. Ah, go all over the brain, the frontal lobe. Ah, the left brain. Ah, the right brain. Ah, the midbrain. Ah, the back of the brain, the occipital lobe. Ah, the cerebellum. Ah, in seconds, it will activate the entire brain. And this is the research which the artificial intelligence programs have not incorporated. This technique of has come from the yogis. This is the technique or meditation that I gave to India a long time ago. Now, you can open your eyes, slowly, slowly, come back to yourself. Now, I taught about a very special mantra, E and La, and which will give you abundance. The sounds E and La. And now you can connect the E, La with Ilan, for instance. And I can give a very long lecture on that, how the sounds create reality. And that's not going to be the program here. It is going to be a practical training that I'm going to give you to how to expand your brain, your mind. They are connected. As I said, the brain creates the mind. Okay. Now we will close your eyes, and I'm going to give you technique to create. I'm going to combine several techniques, in other words, so that it is a very powerful session for you. Now, the brain, close your eyes. The brain decides your destiny. your limitation, your abundance, based on the simulation that you create out of your thought process. You create a limited reality or an abundant reality or a sickness. All these are due to the simulation that you do it for yourself. Nobody is doing it from above. You are doing it for yourself. And that is what we are going to change, and that is really the agenda of this session. Now focus attention on your frontal lobe, which is a logical, decision-making, limited brain, but we need that brain. And also the left brain, which is super logic and a limited logic, depending upon which area of the brain is associated. And then the right brain, which is a very artistic and music and art brain. And then the cerebellum is the brain that will give you highest intelligence, because this is part of the research that I carried out, which was tested also there at Harvard many years ago. So by just sharing this information with you, already the brain picks up. Oh, frontal lobe. Oh, it will activate immediately because we can see it from in fMRI. Left brain, logic, and right brain, music, all these things. Now, I'm going to delimit the brain, the mind, through these sounds, which I am going to give you, which I gave it to you already by saying those sounds are E and La. Ila. There are many ways of doing it. This is one version. Ila. The whole brain will light up. Oh my God, this is my true identity. I have not been living this identity. Ila. Ila is energy complete. La is abundance, love, luxury. Ila, ila, ila. Now put your thumbs up and facing the sky and putting your attention on the whole brain. Ila, ila. The brain will go, will work very very fast. If we can look at the response of your neurons, it will be so amazing from the functional MRI pictures. We look at them, that within seconds you can change your brain. Within seconds, that's the most important thing. The sounds will do that. Now, the reason why I teach this course is success in life is dependent on our intelligence. The intelligence that we acquire through labor, through academic training, is very limited. There is an inbuilt mechanism within the brain And if you understand the mechanism of just one part of the brain, which is the third eye or the pineal gland, it will open up an entirely different logic. It will open up your consciousness to see the angels, to see the gods, There's a lot of research, I remember research by Dr. Strassman, how to activate the pineal gland. And as a result, you can see the vision quest. You see the angels. But then I'm going to take you further and then teach you how to converse with the angels of intelligence, the angels of wealth, the angels of relationship, all these things. So I'm very excited about it, and I also want to invite you to come and participate in this adventure, and we will be co-creator in the process. God bless.
So there it is. How was your immersion? Feel free to post your experiences on the chat, or if you have any questions, we'll unpack more of these goodies next week when we join at the same time. So if you need to jump, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and then hit the alert so we don't miss this opportunity to create our abundant mind with the grace and blessings of Dr. Pillai. So just to recap, awe is the highest technology. It's kind of like spiritual high tech. And it is the global activation of the whole brain, as Dr. Pillai shared. We want to focus on the frontal lobe, this part of our brain, and that is where our logical thinking is, our rational thinking, our ability to make good decisions. And then the left brain, the right brain. So the left brain is super logic. It's your ability to do whatever it is that you need to do and think thoughts that are going to be taking the right action. The right brain is more artistic and creative and appreciation of music, arts, dance. It might help you to become a better writer, better singer, or an artist if that's what you want to do, or just to be creative in general with your finances, with your cooking, your cleaning, whatever it is you're doing in your everyday life, bring it alive so it's not so mundane and robotic. Then the midbrain is about activating the third eye, the pineal gland, as Dr. Pillai said. If we can get in there, then that's the doorway or the portal to higher states of consciousness and all the divine beings that we know are there, but how do we call on them is through the third eye activation. The back of the brain, the occipital lobe, and then the cerebellum tucked underneath, that's where the highest intelligence is. And that's where the gods and the goddesses come in. They sneak in the back door and then they ping our brain and say, hey, wake up, bring in more light, more intelligence. Because if God just appeared to us right in front of us, just like Moses did when the burning bush was there, he went blind. So we can't go blind. We need to see. And then when we can see, oh my goodness. So the divine has to sneak in the back door. Dr. Pillai is activating our brain through the teachings, through these syllables, that with the awe, we're going to create this opportunity for us to get into an altered state. And then the ela, yeah, are the sounds. So E is the sound for energy, super energy, not just physical energy or mental energy. It's going to be accessing divine energy. And then we put our thumbs up, and our thumbs represent God. So we're saying, hey, God, we're connecting with you. It's kind of like our divine antenna. And then we want to experience the energy with E, and La is about abundance, unconditional love, luxury, beauty, joy, comfort, healthy, happy relationships, well-being. And then those are the kinds of thoughts and emotions and desires that we want to manifest. So it will help the sounds E and La together will help to expand the brain and the mind. And the brain creates the mind. So all the thoughts come in and the brain captures it. And then it spits it out into our being, our emotional being, our physical being, our spiritual being, our energetic being, our astral being. There's so many different aspects to us. And then in everyday life, we want to not space out. We want to be fully present and alive with these sounds that will create an abundant mind. Our brain decides our destiny, and it's based on our simulation. So what are we putting into our simulation, our reality? We want to create out of our thought process, meaning we want to put thoughts into that process and then determine how we want to think, what we want to manifest, and then hopefully you will feel abundance, and not only feel it, you will think abundance, and not only think it, you will act on those thoughts and create a beautiful reality. So in a nutshell, Dr. Pillai shared about global activation of the brain and how to delimit the mind with the sounds ah, e, and la that are going to bring our brains to our fullest potential. Potent means energy. It means the power. It means the divinity, the highest manifestation of who we are, and express it, not only inside of our head or in our meditation, but in our life, in everything we do, no matter how important or unimportant we think our life is. When we think thoughts and combine it with the divine activation and Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings, miracles happen. So someone is saying here, I was wondering if I could ask a non-related question. Can we do the lime ritual with Thiru Neela Kantam to clear karma at night? You can do the lime ritual any time of the day or night. So that will help to clear out any negativity. And for those of you who are new, please review all the videos on Pillai Center Practice YouTube, Power Time Practice YouTube, which is inside Pillai Center Practice YouTube. There are so many different ways that the teachers have shared over the years about the importance of clearing your karma with the lime rolling technique. So thanks for asking that. Are there any other questions, Radha, before we jump? So everyone, in the meantime, make sure that you tap into this energy on a daily basis. So you can fast forward it to the video where Dr. Pillai is presenting the three sounds, ah and e and la, and then go through that guided meditation, especially when you're feeling out of sorts. And who isn't these days with so much that's going on in the world and so many things that we need to do on a daily basis? This will help you to activate your whole brain. So whole brain thinking is balanced and in harmony. And we look forward to more of your questions and your presence next week, same time, same place. And have an amazing week ahead. Mahashivaratri is coming up, and talk about karma busting and globalization of the brain and bringing in the energy that is ready to be poured into the earth plane at this time of the year, once a year, karma busting on steroids. If you feel like you're stuck, or you feel like you're so negative and you can't get out of the loop, or your karma is so thick, or you feel like you're even cursed, like nothing is working out for you, whether it's finances, relationships, your job, your career, kids, family, whatever it is that's going on in your life, you want to get the grace and blessings. This is the time of the year, and Dr. Pillai will be initiating everyone into the teachings that are going to come into the earth plane at that time. So God bless you all. Thank you so much, Radha, for being here, and everyone at Pillai Center. Of course, Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings are always so much appreciated, and how we are navigating this world as it is now, and staying focused, peaceful, calm, and hopefully the whole world will change because of it. So God bless. We'll see you when we see you next. Namaste.